Hello everybody, it's John here. It's May the 22nd on a Saturday at noon, and I'm getting into a beehive here because I want to share with you a valuable lesson I learned a year ago. And it all started 2 years ago. I had a hive that the queen was not coming back, and I've always heard of laying worker bees and so forth, and I was getting really concerned, and I called a local beekeeper. And she told me to give the queen 30 days, at least 30 days, to come back and start laying. And I'd probably only given her about 20, 21 days maybe. She said a lot of times, the weather can be difficult and the queen might not be able to get out, and maybe she's not mature just enough yet, and there's just a lot of reasons why the queen might have not came back and started laying. So I did that after she told me that, and I waited another week, opened it up, and I noticed the queen had made it back and she had started laying in the hives. So last year on this particular hive, I didn't do a very good job of paying attention to what was going on inside the hive, because I thought about the 30-day thing again. I should wait. Well, that came and went, and I just always thought the hive was doing really good. There was a lot of bees. So I didn't check it, and by the it had swarmed in July, and the queen never did come back. So here I was in about the middle to the end of August, and this hive was being robbed out. So what I had to do then, I ended up ordering a queen from Bee Weaver and put her in here, and was able then to save the hive, and it made it through the winter okay. Well, it swarmed just about a little over 4 weeks ago, almost 30 days ago. So I wanted to make sure that the beehive here has a queen in it again, and she made it back. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. I opened it up here, and they're in there working and making honey quite a bit. So I had like 5 or 6 bars of honey started. And now I've come down a little bit in the box. And here again is another bar of honey. So as the queen's away and they're not making brood, it gives, I'm assuming, the worker bees plenty of time to start making their stores, filling them up. And here I am down to the brood, and as you can see, we have new brood. And let me make sure real quick if I can see the queen on here. So she has made it back probably within the last week. And as you can see here, her laying pattern is a fairly small at the moment. And I am only in on the first bar of brood, so I don't know, it could get a little better. But here we have a ring of honey at the top. We have the capped bees here in the center, and then you can look in here and see larvae. There's larvae all the way around, so it's like she starts here in the middle and works her way out until she fills up the whole bottom comb here. So that's a good sign. The queen made it back in this hive. I'm good. Also in here, I don't know if I showed you, there is pollen down at the bottom here. Pollen, and it's either nectar, or I don't know sometimes if they would put water in any cells during the summer or not. But again, that's a nice little comb of brood. So again, what I would just recommend from my own personal experience is when you're concerned about your hive swarming, to give it a good 30 days after it's swarmed and check it. And then after that, I would probably even come back if the queen wasn't there, and give them just a few more days to see if the queen did finally make it back and start laying before I would go ahead and order another queen, or maybe even put a bar in from another hive and see if they'll make their own queen if it's early enough in the year. Now when I did it last year, it was, like I say, August, and I really didn't feel like the queen could get out and be mated by fall. So that's the reason I did purchase a queen. I'd rather not purchase a queen, of course, if possible, but there I was able to save the hive. Here again, the bees have already backfilled all of this side with nectar and honey, so it's just given the queen a little space to lay. She only has just this little area here to lay in, and again she has filled it with bees. And same way on this side. The worker bees have backfilled so much honey that she has just a little spot to put brood on this comb, but she's trying to fill it up too. I notice she will go wherever on a top bar hive here especially, and probably others too. She will go around the hive and find a place to lay. She won't always stay just exactly right here in the brood area at the entrance. She may go back a few bars, and here she's went back over 12 bars. I'm going to open up. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting to some more brood. This is all pretty well capped, so she laid on it several days ago. Now, once again, we have a nice little ring of honey, bees, and like I say, she's filled most of this up. There's a little bit of nectar, pollen down here, nectar. In the top bar hive here, they're always very good about using their space up, and a lot of times I notice they really fill up the bars with brood. Sometimes you don't even think they've got enough honey stores on top of it to help feed them, but when they're really making brood, they fill every little cavity up. Here's another good example, another bar. She's been laying in here for over a week for sure, but this one here also is fully capped. She's got a really good laying pattern. Anything that doesn't have bees in it here, sometimes people get worried about a bad laying pattern, but it's got nectar in it, so the bees have already filled it up, and she just herself filled everything up she could with the baby bees' eggs. She's looking really good here. I like to try to clean things up as I go along. Now that I'm getting down here in the brood section, they're getting a little bit more agitated. So anyway, the hive's looking good, and again, we've probably got, I'll go through the rest of it here, but I'd say she's working on, usually they make 10 to 12 bars of brood in a top bar hive, and there is a chance, since it swarmed early in the spring here, a lot of times on my top bar hives, they may, if they didn't swarm in the spring, they'll probably swarm for sure around July, 1st of July. And again, that's what happened to me last year, and I didn't pay enough attention to that. So I'll keep a close eye on them again, and if I notice them swarming, I'll check and make sure there'll be a queen here for the fall. Looking good. Still love the top bar hives. They're very easy to work. I don't know if they swarm more than the Langstroth hives, but there is a possibility of easily 2 swarms a year if it's a growing hive. And I still get plenty of honey off of these. I'll probably at least harvest 5 or more bars of honey, which averages 4 to 5 pounds a bar. So easily get 25 to 30 pounds of honey off of here if I want to. A lot of times though, I want to make sure they have plenty to make it through the winter time, so that they can build up a good, again in March. Usually March is some of their best making brood time. So anyway, beautiful day out. It's finally becoming warm here in southern Illinois. It's going to be 85 again this afternoon. I think summer's here. It took it a while, but there's lots of flowers, lots of places for the bees right now to bring in honey. So they're working really hard at that. I just have one other hive I need to check for sure to make sure the queen came back. It's been only probably 21 days there. So in another week, next weekend, I'll probably check on them and again make sure she made it back. So anyway, valuable lessons learned, and that's the best experience sometimes. So I thought I'd share that with you. You all have a good weekend, and may God bless you. Oh, another full one. Looking good.